All right, I have about tips and strategies for dynamic business building in the network marketing industry. So I like strategies, I like to be prepared, and that's what I want to share with you now. Mistakes, what happened in the first 90 days, what allow people or stop people not to go to manager. I find it very important what happened in the first 90 days because people are not stopping this business after some months or some years. If they stop in the beginning because they don't see any results, right? So we have to make sure the first 90 days they are successful and they believe because they see that it's good for them and they already earn some money. That's why I will always show them a duplicatable system, what they can do by themselves after 90 days. So this is my training on the first 90 days for every new first line. What they should not do is listening to the wrong people. Somebody was on a business opportunity meeting and goes home, and then he explained that to his neighbors and friends, and maybe the husband or wife who was not with me. You can imagine what happened, right? They don't understand what's going on and they just say, don't do this. That's why I tell them to not talk to anybody besides I'm with him. Either personal or on a webinar or on a conference call. So that's what I always would advise. Don't try to say something by yourself because they will spoil their names list and the best prospects maybe. And not listening to the successful people in this industry is also a mistake why people fail in the first 90 days. So that's why I prefer that they've been listening to the business opportunity information first time on a professional way. We just have one first time, right? So the first time is different to the second time. If we leave a good impression first time, we win. That's why the first time has to be really good. Either on a one-to-one, on a two-by-one, on a business opportunity meeting where a professional speaker is, or on a long-distance sponsoring, on a webinar, or on a business opportunity meeting online. So a professional first information. This is important that people get the right idea. Second, we can do this online worldwide. I prefer that people go online and watch a professional webinar instead of trying to do that by themselves and using the wrong words. So that's why I have installed product presentations online in 6 different languages, business presentations online, and starter trainings on a weekly basis. So they have everything in 1 week. On Sunday is always the starter training. I try to include the partner, either the wife or the husband, and have them together on the first one-to-one, two-by-one, BOM, or on the webinar. This is much, much easier when 2 hear it first time together, even just one want to do the business. Then it's easier for the person who wants to do the business. I make sure that my business opportunity meetings, where my leaders have training centers, are run by a professional speaker. So they have to be manager and they have to have a speech training before, and especially they have to learn the words, what to say. So they are the same on the webinar and on the business presentation. And this we call a duplicatable system. The same words, the same language, the same PowerPoints, the same way of presenting it. And of course, to attend immediately a weekend seminar and a training where he can learn about a duplicatable system. Why everybody who starts in my first line really goes manager? Because I sponsor a big range of people, like 10 by month, and then I ask these 10, what do you want? And they tell me what do they want. And the one who wants to go manager, because this means about 2,000 euro in Europe by month if he's in a manager position, with that person I take an agreement. So both sides are working on it. I promise him to give him 90 days time, so he really goes manager, but he has also to promise me something. He has to promise me to follow my system and not to reinvent the wheel. If we teach them wrong in the first 90 days, we will have a line which is not duplicatable. And what we want is a passive income, and it just comes out of duplicatable work, right? We are in network marketing, so it's by showing and repeating. This is a monkey see, monkey do business. We show and they repeat it. So that's why it's important to have it in all the lines in the same way. So follow my system. Sometimes it happens, especially with very intellect people or doctors, that they say, no, I know it better than you, I do it in a different way. Then I say, either you let me show you for 90 days how to become manager, or I cannot give you my time. So they have two choices now. They think about it again, and I will explain it again, or I leave them alone, because I'm not sure what they are doing, that they will be manager after 90 days. But I want to keep my promise, and I can keep my promise because I know my system will work. So I make sure that I have this agreement, and that's why I just start with people who will do that. Otherwise, they will not be manager. So I don't want to do wrong promises. As we said before, do what you say and say what you do. If I say I will guide you to manager, I guide them to manager. But there are some rules. They cannot reinvent the wheel, and I don't know the result. I know my result with my system, so if they follow me 90 days, they will learn how to have a duplicatable system. I cannot guarantee for their success if they're doing something besides working my system. So that's the condition I have for them. Well, can we go one backwards? Thank you. So what I demonstrate and show them, they have to repeat 100%. So this is also a training how to learn to be duplicatable and not to reinvent the wheel. Did you make some experience with people who want to do it different than you? Oh yes. Okay, just be a little bit stronger on them, because if you know that your system works, you can have an agreement on this at least for the first 90 days. So persistent and total convictions that we are working as a team together. So my first line does not feel left alone, even he lives in another country. I'm every day in communication with him. I just built up a new manager in Palm Beach, Florida, since May until now. She was on the rally already with many people. On the webinar, I saw this lady first time now in Florida on the 1st of August. Even this is a long distance sponsoring. She hears from me every day, by WhatsApp, by Skype, by webinar, chat. So she don't feel alone. This is very important, because in the beginning, the distributors are not feeling secure. So I make sure they feel that we are a team together, and that I can reach my hand to help them all the time. The communication of inner strength makes the difference. So if I teach them communication tools, as I do, I show, they repeat 100%. Then I also can build up their self-confidence. I believe if somebody is lack of self-confidence, which are the most in the beginning, then he is not able to have his full potential. So I always give him compliments. I always encourage him that he's doing this right, and his self-confidence grow and his potential will be bigger. Because in the traditional world out there, when he's still in an employee job, they will get all this negative stuff all day, right? So the boss don't pay them over hours, or they just tell him the things which are not good. Maybe you have some experience with that. And we have to be the opposite. They have to like to be with us, because we are positive, we make them compliments, we build them up, and we help them to believe in themselves. We help them to believe in themselves and to open their potential with that. Sometimes they don't know their potential, but I see it. I believe in them before they believe in themselves. And this is encouraging the people to have higher goals than they usually would have in their life. And then they don't take it as a personal rejection if somebody say no. So if somebody say no on the names list, let's say we try to sponsor these 10 people. To get this 10, we have maybe 30 to 40 one-to-ones or opportunity meeting guests, and somebody say no or not now, then he will be on my follow-up list and my pipeline list, and every 3 months, that's what I teach my new one, he can call him again. Besides, this person say, don't call me anymore or I call the police. But this did not happen to me. I don't know your experience, but usually if they say, you can stay in touch with me, we will do that. And if you talk to a lot of people, you have to write this down because you forget when did you talk to whom. So we have to put that in some file, either on paper or in the computer. And we have a lot of people to follow up. And that's why I could also have a lot of non-manager business and then this second time of being double diamond, because I had a lot of people in my follow-up list from the first 2.5 years, you understand? That's what I prepared the first 2.5 years I could use for the year after. So usually, year by year, our follow-up list and our names list gets bigger because we get recommendations, we have customers who recommend us, so it gets easier every year. Every year it gets easier because you have always people to follow up. And find out your own statistic. This was my statistic, maybe yours is different. So I know that I have to sponsor 10 to get 1 manager and 2 supervisor. But maybe your statistic is different. It would be good to write this down for 12 months to have your own business statistic. This is very German now, right? I hope you like it. Then I made some experience about how many people do I have to talk to not have this rejection and not be in so much no's. So to talk to enough people within 1 week, let's say somebody does a dozen contacts, which is 12 contacts. And if he have enough contacts, he will have not enough, he will have more yes than no. Next one. We have the other example. If I increase the number of contacts, then I can reduce the number of rejections. So that means I can work on my statistic, I can work on my figures. How many no's do I have to get 1 yes? Who knows his own figures? How many no's do you have to get 1 yes? Who have his figures?
10 no's, 1 yes.
How many?
10 no's, 1 yes.
10 no's, 1 yes? Okay. Somebody else? If you use a professional first presentation or the help of your sponsor, that's why it's so important for new people to have a first professional presentation, you can hire this quote. So usually it's 1 to 5, and with more training, it's 1 to 3. That after 90 days, usually they develop from 1 to 5 to 1 to 3, because the guidance and the training in the first 90 days. So we can reduce the number of rejection by being trained and better prepared. And that's why we never should stop learning. I think now today, if I talk to 2, 1 will join. But 13 years ago, that was not the case. So every year we're getting better and better by working on our skills. And that's why it gets easier every year. But we can reduce the number of rejection by increasing the number of contacts. And if somebody has too many rejections, we have to have a bigger names list. We have to do more contact marketing. And that's why it's good to have a statistic, so everybody knows his figures. If her is 10 to 1, so she knows what she has to do. If it's developed, then it's 5 to 1, then we need less people for more yes. And you will see that when you do a 12-month statistic, how that develops, if you develop that skills. So let's say a part-timer is contacting 5 to 10 prospects a day. That means changing business cards, having some small talks, following up on the telephone and things like this. And for a full-timer, 30 prospects and more per day. If you work already in the cold market, it's now for the leaders especially, then this is a good statistic for having always grows. If we, until we are diamond, stop sponsoring 2 new people by month, we will have a negative development because people stop, people have a break, people are burned out sometimes from their traditional job or from whatever circumstances. There are many things what can happen usually just in the private life, and that's why we have to sponsor against this quote. So if we don't sponsor at least 2 for who wants to go diamond, 10 by month, then we will have a business which goes down. So 30% of the people will stop or will just stay customers, even they promise to do the business. So we have to sponsor 30% plus to have this equal. And if we want to have a growth, we have to sponsor more than we lose. So that means we have to build up constantly. And if we raise the number of contacts, we will raise the number of rejection, and by developing our skills, that gets better every month and every year. And like this, we will have a profitable downline organization when we put until the higher position of diamond 80% of our time in recruiting. And many people think after they are manager or senior manager, they just should manage their downlines. Big mistake. That will come retour after 2 to 3 years, and you can see that if you did not sponsor more than 30% plus, your business will go down. So if you know that, and I prepare my new first line distributor with these figures, he knows that you should constantly sponsor to have a passive income. And that's why we are in network marketing. We want to have a passive income. We want to have an organization which does the job, even we are not there, right? That's why we are not in direct sale. That's why we are in network marketing. So we have to make sure we always sponsor 2 new people by month by doing at least 5 to 10 contacts part-time a day, and never stop sponsoring before the diamond position. The only position Rex Monk don't want 4 case credits, it's called diamond manager. It's not called senior manager or soaring. It just stops with the 4cc when you're diamond manager. So that means Rex wants us to not stop sponsoring until you are manager. And this is the secret of a growing and profitable international organization. So here we have one example. Let's say in 1 week, 100 pitchings, contacts. So we get, let's say, the names list. Somebody new bring 100 on the names list, and we do the telephone call together. 20 yes and 80 no. My quote is 1 to 5, so this is relied on my quote. When I know this, 1 to 5, then I need to phone 100 to get my 20 yes. That does not mean that they work. It's just a yes they want. It's a big difference if they want or if they work. Yes, you made this experience? A lot of people say and then they don't do. It's the same with me, so you didn't do something wrong. This is our quote. That's why we need a 100 names list, and that's the importance of the 100 names list for a new first line. If he just comes with 50 names, I know he will fail, because then he will sponsor nobody at the end. So if I explain the quote, then of course they come back with 100 names. But I have to understand why. For example, we concentrate with this 100 contacts on positive answers, because from these 20 yes contacts, 3 to 4 will join the business if the quote is 1 to 5. 3 to 4 out of the 100 names list. That's a little figure from people who start and a big figure from people we have to try to speak, right? And especially in the beginning, we need to make sure that our new distributor gets successful in the first 90 days. So I will not allow to start with 20 names on the names list, because I know I cannot keep my promise, he will fail. And it's my promise to get him to manager, so we make sure he comes back with a 100 names list. If he doesn't have this names list, actually we can do that also internationally, then we have to make cold market contacting, which has a bad quote. It's not 1 to 5. If he wants to work in the cold market immediately, I make sure he knows that the quote can be 1 to 100. You never know. Sometimes the same advertisement in the same magazine, one week is good, next week is nothing. So we never know. That's why I prefer for a new one to work at first 100 name out of his names list. And it's more easy today than ever before. Who's on Facebook? Everybody. How many followers you have there? 100, 200, 500, 1000? How many numbers you have in your personal cell phone? More than 100? For sure. So just open your cell phone with your new distributor and he will have 100 names. That's easy. If they're on his phone, he knows these people, otherwise he would not call them, right? So if people say to you, oh, I don't know somebody. Did you hear that before? Yes. They just don't understand that they should speak with the people who are in their phone. So you have to help them. They are new in this business, they don't know. And I'm sure they have at least 200, if not 500 contacts in their mobile phone. And if they're on Facebook, they have now 2 or 3 times more. That means today it's more easy than in 13 years ago to have a lot of contacts to go diamond, because we have all this new media stuff. And everybody is just able to have every day new contacts. You can put advertisement on your Facebook site, on the Twitter site. You can have advertisement in Skype. These things did not exist 13 years ago. So now, if we use the new media, it's even more speed possible than before, because we have high-speed internet. So this 3 to 4 new business people, business starters, we have out of 100 names list. Will everybody be successful from these 3 to 4 people? No. Maybe 1. So 1 out of 5 managers, or 1 out of 4, it gets better year by year, will be a good manager, an eagle manager, and a profit share manager. And the other 4, or 3 to 4, will be a manager with a supervisor case credit. They got manager once, and then they fall down, because they don't have a stable structure under them. But now this should not happen anymore, because we have this eagle manager incentive, which helps to keep up the 60 case credit for every manager. It means we have a big number of contacts to do to have results, especially in the beginning. The only investments we have to do in this business is time. In the beginning. Later you will have with less time, more income. In the beginning you have a lot of time with less income. But that changes on the point of no return. And the point of no return is a curve like this, and then it goes automatically, then you have your passive income. If you make sure that your distributors who start work in duplicatable system. The bad example how it does not work is when he just make 10 contacts or 10 people on the names list to make an appointment, and if it's 1 to 5, nobody starts, right? So I will not accept somebody with 10 names on his names list, because I know that will not work. And he will always have negative answers, and he will be very upset with all the rejections. When I know that, I have to give this information to my new first line, so it's necessary to have 100 names list, or even more, because this will not work. I just want to avoid that he gets disappointed, because I promised him to guide him to manager, right? So I tell him what he should not do and what will work for him, okay? I read that in a book, and I find this very interesting. Multi-level marketing starts as a numbers game and develops to a numbers business, where the people are the center of attention. During the same time, a remarkable downline organization of enthusiastic networkers develops. It's that what we just spoke before. We need a big numbers game before, if you want to call it game. And we will have people, we will work long-term, maybe life-term together to develop them as leaders. When I do my presentations, either one-to-one, two-by-one, or on the business opportunity meeting or online webinar, then I'm showing them a big picture. And this is the difference why they open up. If you show them the big picture, they will think bigger. If you show them a little part of our business, they will think like this. What kind of people do you want to have? That depends if you show the big picture. Who wants to have people who are open-minded? So then make sure that your presentation is like this, that they see the big picture. You have to be a visionary. The most inspiring visionaire's name is Rex Monk, right? Yeah. He is definitely a visionary. He knew in 1978 what will be after 30, 40, 50 years. So he showed us the way, and we can duplicate having a big vision and transfer that to the people we want to help, our first clients, and to his prospects. Usually they have a lot of two-by-ones and not one-to-one. I will always be as a third person to help him, to sponsor somebody and to give the big vision. Now people ask, how can I have a big vision if I don't have results? I cannot show something that I'm successful. Do you think sometimes like this? Yes. Then show pictures from other successful people. I was working when I started with pictures from Kim Madsen. He was already 2 years before me in the business. Or from Rolf Kipp or the leaders you have here in America. You know the names better. You work with pictures and video clips from successful people who are there where you want to be. So you build up a future view. It doesn't have to be you. The examples are there in Forever Living. So collect a big numbers of these examples. When you're on the rallies, you try to, you make sure you make photos from everybody who has a higher PIN or has a higher case credit level when they get the recognition on stage. That's why so many photos on these rallies. They learned that they can work with these pictures. Who was at the Phoenix rally? Have you visited the FLP office where Rex Mon took photos in his office? Yes. Can you imagine how many hours this man is sitting there and taking photo by photo? Yes. Unbelievable. He knows that people will work with this photo for the next year until they come back. He knows that, and that's why he's sitting there hour for hour, so everybody has his own photo. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. He's an amazing man. That's why our company is different. He could already relax and be in pension and let somebody else do the photos. But everybody wants a photo with Rex, right? Yeah. And he knows that. So after you're a leader, a lot of people will make photos with you. They will show you as an example. Your downline like to show you as an example. So make sure you are a good manager so they can show you as an example. And until that, you use your upline, you use your sideline, successful people with photos. If you don't have some, on the American homepages there are a lot of video clips and photos now from the rally, and you can use these photos. Even you are not on the picture. Today you can make some with me if you want to use that. And I will make some with you because I can learn from you. I can show these photos to my team. I will tell them next week in Berlin, these are the New York future diamonds, right? Yes. Diamonds in trainee. You call yourself now diamond in trainee. Write this down. If somebody asks you, which position do you have? You say, I'm a diamond in trainee. And they will ask you, what is diamond? Speaking about a big vision. And when they ask you, you say, funny that you ask. I am looking for 25 people who want to earn 2,000 euro, what's that in dollars, $3,000 by month. Are you going to be one of them, or can you recommend me somebody? That's what I was doing every day. I was not talking about, do you want to earn 200? Of course, there are people who want to earn 200. But if I ask for higher goals, I will get the people with higher goals. If I ask for little goals, I will get the people with little goals. Which kind of people would you like to have? Higher. So try to change your words. Try to speak big vision. You are a diamond and trainee, right? Yes. And we are looking for 25 leaders who want to earn $3,000 by month. Do you want to be one of them? Oh, yes. This sentence is very important. It made me diamond after 2.5 years. Because I attracted these people by my speech. And I was convinced I will find this 25. Whom would you like to follow? Somebody who knows what he's doing or somebody who is insecure? Somebody who knows? Then you have to speak like you're a diamond already, because you're a diamond in training. Don't wait until you're a manager. Even an assistant supervisor is a diamond in training. And they will follow you. The higher the vision, the higher the words you speak, the better people you will get. The better your results after this, the better quality of people you get. So year by year, the quality of your first-line distributors will be developed, if you develop. There's a good example. Everybody knows Miklos Berkic, of course. Yeah. Who is his downline, actually? All right. So Miklos was, until today, leading by example. Even he could be already in pension, right? And there was one man watching him for 4 to 5 years, and this man just wanted to have the best sponsor. His name is Attila Gitufalfi. Yes. I think not everybody knows who is that. And this man was looking for the best. So the better we get, the better people we will attract. Who wants to find diamonds? Then you have to attract this kind of people by being the best you can be. You want to start this today, the best you can be? Yes. You are what? Diamond training. Right. Can we say that together? You're a diamond in training. All right. So we speak about high income potential. We are not ashamed to make money in Forever Living because we are doing it the correct way and we're doing it the ethical way. That's why we don't have to be ashamed talking about big figures. In some countries, for example Germany, it's not very common to speak about what somebody earned. I don't know how it's in America. I think it's not so complicated here. So, you're in fortune. You can speak about high income, even you don't have this. You're using profit share checks from other people to show the high income. And we have a very good book where are all these profit share checks in, right? Make sure you use this book when you do a 1-to-1 or a 2-by-1. I always have this book with me, and I'm not showing my check. I'm showing the check from different countries, and so he can have no excuse that it will not work in his country. Because we have all the countries in there with all the checks, right? And additional, I use the international directory, the new one we could now buy in Phoenix. And there are 150 offices in. So I can show him a big vision about an international global business by showing him this book. So if I have these 2 books with me, I can do every presentation with a big vision. Working with other people photos, with other people profit share checks. That's why the company printing this book with the profit share checks. Make sure every starter in your team have these 2 books. And he can speak differently. So we speak about, of course, high income and leisure time after we build it up, a passive income and an organization who's working by themselves after some years. And it's possible if everybody in our team is using the product and is his first customer and his best customer in the first place. We make sure we are using all the products in our product range. Then the one case, personal case credit is not enough. 3, 4, 5 case credits by family if we are using all the products every day. Just imagine, because you do it, everybody in your team would do that. Would that make a difference? Yes. It will make a difference if you start and show it like this. And I have one nice story about Miklos' work when I was in Jakob Schallasch on his seminar. He have a little button, and on this it's 0 case credit. And he goes with his new distributor through his fridge and through his bathroom And everything what is not FLP products, he put 0 case credit, 0, 0, 0. And then the people see how many products they have they should not have, even his leaders. Maybe you want to use this, it's very funny, and it makes them in a very funny way seeing that they are not their best customers. If you do that, and you showed it to your new one, you have an organization which have a lot of personal use. Will they feel healthier when they use more our products? Yes. Will they have more anti-aging if they use more our products? Yes. So we will have a very young generation, very fit, right? Yes. Do we want to have that? Yes. Okay, let's make using more products and being a good example for our presentation. Try this with the 0 case credit button on all the products. You will be amazed that it's at least 20 products you could change in every household. Do you agree with me? Yeah. You go home today and you check your own one. Don't tell me, you will be ashamed, I guess. But after 6 to 12 months, that will change in your organization. And I learned this from Miklos. That's very, very interesting to do that. And also very funny. We call this bathroom razzia. Bathroom and kitchen razzia. So, an attraction of a passive income. I speak about a passive income. After 2.5 years, I had already a passive income because I trained my people duplicatable system in the first 90 days. So they know what to do even when I'm not there, and I can take time for a new person. If I don't teach them a duplicatable system, I will always, years for years, keep on teaching them. And they will always be depending from me. We don't want that somebody is depending from us, right? We want independent distributors. That's on our application, right? So to get them independent, they have to learn in the beginning how to work a duplicatable system. And then we can speak about passive income. And that's why I have this agreement to work my system. It makes sure that they get a passive income. And that is not just for a small group of people, it is for everybody who works this way. I also not give just one product example, I speak about product ranges. Not in detail in the business presentation that we do, of course, in the product presentation, but a big overview, give them a bigger vision. Some people like this product, some people like this product. If I just pick up one or two, maybe just the wrong one for this person. So I speak about ranges. Where do I see the product ranges? In the international directory, and of course in the product brochure of your country. And I speak also about the way to prosperity and wealth, and that people can become financial independent within the next 5 years. And that's what I mean when you're diamond in training. Every year, 5 managers. Where are you then in 5 years? Diamond. So if you just do 2 managers per year, it will take longer. Why waste your lifetime when you can do it in a shorter time? After then you are free. And you can help more people if you like to. So 5 managers a year, in 5 years you can be totally independent in forever living. It doesn't matter how long you're already in the business. Today you fire yourself, and tomorrow you employ yourself again on your own ID number. And today is the day when you start your next 5 years. We still have 5 months to go to prepare already your success in 2013, because what we do now will affect already the next spring. And I speak about personal and financial freedom. So you see, I build up a big vision. Well, that's why people follow. They like to follow people who think big. People like to be part of something big. Why do people go to football games and scream and have the same shirts like the football team? Because they like to be part of something big. They like to be with the same kind of people who doing the same. So that's why we have to speak a big vision. We are all going in the same direction. And I'm always telling them, just imagine from your first 10, from your first 100, there will be a duplication after 5 years for some thousand people who are using the products and doing the same because they work a duplicatable system. So that's how I build up the big view about this business. And then, of course, they can imagine how to go manager. If I would have speak just about a little vision, they don't understand how they can go manager. So we make sure we speak about a big vision. And trust your upline. I said before that we don't need a sponsor, but we all have an upline. At the end, it's Rex Mong, right? For everybody of us. Sometimes he is directly, sometimes he's an upline. So what I learned from the Hungarians is that they build up their upline from the first moment. Even if they don't like him. That doesn't matter. It's the person who showed you the business, and it's the upline who made sure that your sponsor could show you the business. So we make sure that we build up respect to your upline. Who was again in Phoenix? Did you hear what Attila said on stage about Miklos? He built him up as his sponsor, right? So if we start that now to build up our upline, this is our third party effect. We can have much better results by talking respectful to our upline, because that will duplicate. If we build up the respect to our upline, our team will build up the respect to us. And there's no personal wars in between. If they are, we don't speak about it. We always build up respect to your upline. Even the upline is not as good as we are. It's still our upline. And it ends with Rex Mong. And of course we build up Rex Mong. If people see that you are respectful with your upline, they will feel very well in our family. And it's much, much easier for you that people join if we speak like this in the first presentation. Can we go to the page before? Yes. Okay. Yeah. I make sure they understand that they are in this business, their own boss, but they are never alone. If people come from the traditional businesses, they are their own boss, but they're always alone. Because the next one in the same branch is the concurrence, right? And here we give the hand to help somebody who start new, and he will feel never alone. That's why it's so important that we every day are in WhatsApp, Facebook, Skype, in communication with our distributors. Even we have no time, we can do that in between. 2, 3, 5 WhatsApp messages a day, it's for free. Around the world. That's a free SMS tool. But I guess you know, because you have a lot of international people in New York. High income and leisure potential out of constant orders of consumable products. I was in a company before, they did not have consumable products, and that's why I know how important that is, that we have at first consumable products, at second high quality products, and third, that we are our best customer with these consumable products. That's why Forever Living is working well. We have high quality products and we have consumable products. For example, the gel, we need 3 bottles by month, right? So we have a turnover inside 1 month, a repeating business. And that's why if we have people who use the products, and you lead by example with more products from tomorrow, then you will have an organization what is doing that. I could not have that with my alarm systems before, which I had in my old company, because you're buying that just once in a lifetime. But these consumable products we buy on a monthly basis. So as we are the world leader in aloe vera, we have of course a lot of people who buy again and again because our product quality is high standard. And that's why they are convinced when I say we are the world leader in aloe vera. We have consumable products which people used in more than 30 years, and we have over 80% rebuy, repeating business on our customers and on our distributors. So they understand in which direction our business can develop, the more people we have. And that's how we build up their vision about their own success. And you or the leader of your organization from the first moment you sponsor your first person. You are mentor, coach, and leader of your team. The better you get, the better your team will be. The more you develop, the more personal development you have, the more you will attract high quality people. So it's up to us, it's in our hands, which business we have. And there are no circumstances or outside circumstances what can influence our business. And that's what I like in this industry with this company. Nobody can take our success out of our hand. It's just on us. The growth of our MLM business will always be a personal growth. The better we grow personal, the better our business will be. So in our industry, we have a phenomenon that people develop much better, much higher than they stay in their employee's job, or even they stay in their traditional business job. Because there's always an upline who will help you to learn more, who will help you to have better skills, and all the time you will have trainings, so at the same time you learn for your life. Isn't that incredible? While we build our business, we build ourselves, our personal growth. We lead by example, so we will always have the organization how we are. And of course, use the system. Building up slowly, this encourages people. It is a mistake to think when I do it slowly, then it's easier. No, it's harder. Because you start all over again and again, and you miss your momentum. That's why it's better to put your energy in the next 5 years and build up 5 managers each year, and then you will have a big momentum in your team, and this will duplicate. So it will be more easy to work with speed, because the momentum will work for you. The momentum brings you to the point of no return. And then your organization works by themselves after you teach them right, of course, and you have your passive income. You will not have your passive income if you work slowly. So this encourage your new starters, because they want to have results. They want to make money, and we as a sponsor, we have to make sure we can show them these results. Building with high speed creates momentum, and the growth in your organization will be the equivalent to the number of constant new contacts and sponsored first lines. So the growth is in your hand. You can always raise up the number of new contacts and first lines. Principles of growth is continuously sponsoring, and the main direction to increase your income is constantly sponsoring more than 30%. I just said before, we will lose 30% of the people. So we have to sponsor more than 30%, and then we have growth. We just have growth if we lead by example. Our downline will always do what we do. If we are a bad example, our downline will be the same. If we are a good example, our downline will be the same. So what would we prefer? Lead by a good example? All right. What are we? Diamond in training. Right. Top leaders need just the minimum attention. Many people ask me, how can you handle so many people at the same time? I was always working with 7 people at the same time, because we have 7 days a week, right? So every day, one person had the whole day time with me. The leaders need the minimum time. We have this 20-80% Pareto principle. The 20% of the people will make 80% of the turnover. These people don't need so much time and attention. They catch your system and they will duplicate. Some of my managers got even managers while I was in America on the rally. So they did that by themselves. This answers the question, how is that possible? If we attract higher quality of people, these people will need minimum attention. These are your future leaders. And the other 80% will also produce case credits, but just 20% results. So, what kind of people we are looking for? The 80% who just produce 20% of the case credits, or the 20% who produce the 80%? Which group would you like to have? So we are looking for leaders, right? And if you're looking for leaders, we are looking for 25 managers who want to earn at least $3,000 a month, right? Yeah. That's how we look for leaders. That's why you are diamond in training, right? So the top leaders just need minimum attention. That's why you can do this business even if you don't have a sponsor. You don't need a sponsor. You need an upline and respect to upline. You need a downline you get paid on. And you need a coach and a system. And a systematically duplicatable work. And you can, if you share ideas all the time with people you can learn from, they are already better than you, then you will stay in this momentum. I believe in the success of my first line before he believes in that. This we call a visionary thinking. I already see the potential, what they don't see themselves in the beginning. So I build them up. I build up their trust in themselves. And that's very important. When somebody feels that somebody trusts in them, that somebody believes in their success, they will have a different way of working. So we have to open them up for their potential by believing in them and telling them every day that we believe in their success. Until they prove me wrong, everybody is in my eyes a diamond. Until they prove me wrong. So I treat them as future leaders, not less, until they prove me wrong. But in my opinion, they all have the potential for being leaders and diamonds. So another principle of growth is quickly build up wide. So our marketing plan is made to go wide, to have first line managers, to get diamond and to get the gem bonus from sapphire, diamond, sapphire, and diamond. So 1, 2, 3% extra. I just get to this point when I sponsor enough people, when I go wide. And this is always the discussion. Should I go deep or should I go wide? If I look our marketing plan, it's very clear. I just will come in the next position if I go wide. We have another program which let us work deep, but it's a different story. This was called Profit Share, now it's Chairman's Bonus. This is another program. It has nothing to do with building up diamond. It's a totally different program. So for building up 25 manager lines, we need to go wide. And if we don't stop sponsoring before we have 10,000 euro, which I think 15 or more $1,000 by month, then we will have the success we want to have. I say we don't stop sponsoring before we are diamond, and then we don't have to do our 4K credits. But still we will do it because we are using the products. But regarding Rex, we don't have to do it. So there will be no success if you just sponsor every 2 to 3 months. We have to sponsor every month, constantly. And it will be easier if you do something constantly, then you always have a break. Did you experience, after you come home from holiday, how difficult the first days are? Are they more difficult than before the holidays? Because you got out of training. It's the same in the gym. If you always just go 1 week, next week not, it hurts a lot, right? It's the same with our business. If we do something constantly with the right speed, it's easier than slowly and just from time to time. This is why some people get in higher positions and some not. If you always make a break in between, it's harder to start all over again, because it takes 3 to 5 more energy to start all over again instead of constantly doing it. And if people see that you're doing that with fun and with it's easy going, then they will like to join you. If they see you struggling and they can read in your face that it's hard work for you, they don't like it. So better we do that constantly, and it will be easier for you. And then you have another charisma, and then people get attracted from higher quality people get attracted by you. So I think this should be the last page. Answering the question of the debt. How do I get my debt if I just sponsor wide regarding our marketing plan? If you sponsor enough front lines, the cream rises to the top. This is a sentence I got from John Curtis. The cream rises to the top. Your leaders in the further down generations, they will call the successful upline and ask for support and advices. You don't have to search for them. And one day they will click up to you. I have a profit share leg. The sixth one is always in my seventh generation, out of pay line. But between this lady and the first line sponsor in Germany, the lady is from Austria, there are meanwhile generations which are not active anymore. So year by year she comes more up to me. And this is our fabulous marketing plan. We call this dynamic compression. So just the people with the 4 and 12 leadership case credits get the money, right? So this is very smart what Rex did there. We get always paid on active people. And that's why your downline strength leaders, your debt, will click up to you year by year, and anyhow they will call you. They will ask for support, so you don't have to search for them. If you sponsor enough wide, you will have your debt automatically, because your first line duplicates your first generation into your second, into your third generation. If they duplicate a duplicatable system, you will have also leaders in the deeper generation who can be your profit share managers, like what's the name now? Chairman's bonus. Okay, we have to get used to this one. So, to have a balance in your organization, we have 3 kind of people: product users, retailers, and business builders. Next one. What we need to have a balance and to have a passive income organization is some part-time distributors, some full-time distributors, and the dynamic business builders. The last group is the 20% who build up the 80% of the turnover. The first 2 groups are the 80% who produce 20%. So whom are we looking for? Business builders, leaders. To find them, we have to go through all the others. Don't worry, they will show up, the first 2 groups. They are part of our quote. If we are looking for managers, leaders, we will find also the product users, the retailers, the supervisors, and so on. So with a smaller group of people, we will produce our passive income. But to find them, we have to go through all these figures. That's our daily work. We focus on developing leaders. Somebody is not a leader because he has a diamond pin. We have to put him on trainings and develop his skills all the time, so he can always lead by example. And if you are, was my case with 4 years, I told you for you maybe for 5 years. The 4 years plan, I changed from the 40 years plan from my country I came before. We had this 40 years plan. Then you will have no stress anymore in your life. So if we take it a little bit slowly than me, you take 5 years for 5 managers each year. When I can do it in 2.5 years, you can do it in 5 years, right? From now on. If I can do it, why shouldn't you can do it? Now you have Facebook, Twitter, internet, webinar. I didn't have this. So you can have a lot of more tools than ever before. I replaced my 40 years plan to my 4 years plan to double diamond. Actually, 2.5 years was the diamond position. And in this, let's say for your 5 years, the next 5 years, you have a passive income when you stay in just one MLM company. I see so many people changing the company all the time, and they think, this is better, this is better, this is better. They will all come back, mostly crying, and say Forever Living was the best. Sometimes it's too late and they cannot come back. We just had some sad examples. So if you stay with one MLM company, just then you can build up passive income. Because what you do, your downline will duplicate. If you want them to stay in one company, you stay just in one company. Success and security for your whole life if you work after these principles I just showed you today. So I think this was a lot of new training stuff, and I hope some of the words made a difference to you. I know you're all different personalities, and each one will pick up something different. You use this one, what fits to you, and you find your personal style, so you like to do your daily work, so it fits to you, and you make sure that what you do, you don't and duplicate, so you will have 100% duplicatable business, and you will be a diamond in 5 years because you're now diamond in trainee. I see you as diamonds in the next rallies. Thank you very much.